This is Dolynny TV, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of Edmonton Oilers discussion. As I'm modeling the cat too much, let me get those beautiful jerseys centered up a little bit better for you this evening, this afternoon, wherever you're tuning in from, whatever time it is. It's time to discuss. Well, yeah, it finally happened this year. Caleb Jones has been called up to the NHL in advance of game number 21. As yes, sirree, you know what? We had an injury happen, well, last game against the San Jose Sharks last night, the 6-3 loss, in which, well, obviously I'm going to pretty much give you the details on what I think caused the injury, which is pretty apparent what caused the injury overall for the Edmonton Oilers, is the fact that Connor McDavid got hipped in open ice, and Zach Kassian and Brandon Manning didn't like that. Zach Kassian tried to, well, you know, Zach Kassian, someone, he got tied up by the refs, but Brandon Manning was left free, and in some parallel universe, which is left no doubt in our mind now that Brandon Manning and Connor McDavid are teammates. Brandon Manning came to the defense of Connor McDavid and tried to, I believe it was Barclay Goodrow he threw down with. However, he ended up hurting his hand. He's now on the IR, and that means, ladies and gentlemen, we have called up, as I said, Caleb Jones to the NHL. It's his NHL, well, first stint up here this season, and we'll get right into what Caleb Jones has been doing for the Bakersfield Condors right now. We haven't done a stat check in a few days here, but that said, he's a -4 for the Condors, so anyone who wants to judge plus minus and what that's equivalent to, go right ahead. There's your -4 stat. 10 points in 13 games. Defensively on the back end for Caleb Jones, that is tied for third on this Condors team. Technically tied for second if you take that there's a tie for first. And so it's 13 points to Benson, 13 to Malone, 10 to Curry, and 10 to Caleb Jones. Then you've got the fact that he's only taken 2 minutes of penalties through 13 games. That's mint. And then you've got the power play goal as well, and he's averaging .77 points per game is Caleb Jones. And he's also had a whopping total number of 27 shots. We like to see that as well. So that's Caleb Jones in a nutshell off of the Bakersfield Condors website as to what we're getting out of him from the Condors this year into the NHL adjustment. Now the thing is, Caleb Jones is obviously one of the bright faces of the first wave of the regime change on the back end for the Edmonton Oilers. Guys, this is, well, hopefully the leader of a second pair for years to come kind of deal with Ethan Bear as well on that second pair. And then you've got hopefully Bouchard and Broberg up there on that top pair leading the way for many, many, many years to come as well. So, Caleb Jones, the reason you may know that name is the fact that he's rocked number 82 for our Edmonton Oilers at some point last year. I believe it was a little bit there when the injuries got out of hand. And Caleb Jones, fantastic numbers. You know what? Yeah, you can say -9 is disastrous. That's why I let off with it. Is -9 not great in 17 games, but consider what that Edmonton Oilers defense was at that point and how well we were playing and how well and all that. Caleb Jones did fantastic. 1 goal, 5 assists, got his first career NHL goal. He had 4 even strength assists, 1 power play assist, an even strength goal. You know what? It was a beautiful even strength goal, but guys, if memory serves me correct, he didn't even get to celebrate the goal because of how badly the Oilers were being beat, and I felt terrible for the kid. Like, guys, that is being victim to a bad team, not even being able to celebrate your first career NHL goal the first time you shoot that puck and it goes in. So that was rough for him. He averaged 19 minutes and 48 seconds on ice per game. Guys, there you go. That's what I was saying. The state of the defense was bad. You were playing a rookie defenseman, well, pretty much 1950 a game. Well, who does that remind you of? Ethan Bear. But again, Caleb Jones was equal to the task. He was able to do it, and he had a block per game as well in there. Had a total of 21 shots in 17 games, so you like to see that from our defense. Obviously, it works in the NHL, or the San Jose Sharks wouldn't have won the game last night. And then you also have that he had 20 hits, so he's averaging a hit a game. He had 13 takeaways. The big number here, if you want to look at any bad number for Caleb Jones, is he was averaging an official giveaway every single game. That's a tough go, especially as a rookie. You don't want to be doing that as often as Caleb Jones was in his rookie debut, his first 17 games with the Oilers, but it just is what it is realistically if you're the Edmonton Oilers. So we're not going to worry too much about it, and we're now going to digest kind of what Brandon Manning has done for us this season, and this is pretty much a straight across replacement until Adam Larson's available. That's literally all this is, and then we really get into the complicated math of then having Larson, Bear, Benning, Pearson on our blue line, and then, as I said, we've gotten through that several times, so we need to discuss that when the time comes and we finally find the solution. So with Brandon Manning in the lineup, we had 1 goal out of him. He had 7 shots on net. Oh, that's the extra stats. Hold on, I want... Why do they only have his even strength stats? Oh, this is the advanced stats. Never mind. Hold on. All. I want all. So, I'm totally lost. I don't even get this. What am I doing here wrong? Advanced scoring logs, game logs, Brandon Manning overview. That's what I want. There we go, guys. Hockey reference still confuses me if I don't pay attention close enough. Brandon Manning, 9 games played, -1. He did have the goal, as I mentioned. 17 penalty minutes. That's craziness. And then you have the 1 even strength goal. He had 8 shots, so he wasn't really shooting the puck that much. But, again, defense, as long as they're getting shots through, I don't care. Had total shot attempts of 14, so 6 got blocked or missed. And then had 11 minutes and 3 seconds average time on ice. So, realistically, out of a guy like Caleb Jones, are you asking Caleb Jones to play 19 minutes and 48 seconds of ice time if he steps into the lineup this year? No, you're not. I really hope we're not. Because realistically, all you got to do is get Caleb Jones minutes in which he can succeed. That's the question, right? And that's where you look, Ethan Bear's on that second power play unit. That's minutes in which he can succeed. We know Ethan Bear's effective on the power play. We know he can get shots through, and we know he can get the job done. Thing is, where is that most effective? Not on our top power player unit, apparently. Guys, I want Ethan Bear on the top power play unit, but that's the thing, right, is you got to have that. So now that gets to my point of the magic factory that is Edmonton Oilers defense pairings. From the same company that brought you Nurse Larson, they brought you Russell Manning last night. And guys, that pairing, oh my goodness. Now the thing is, to say that, right, is how do you pair up Caleb Jones? Well, Caleb Jones, like Chris Russell to an extent, is capable of playing the right side on his offhand. So right there, that's an interesting take on how it can be done. Then again, do you want to have Matt Benning in the top 6? Where's Joel Pearson factor into this? There's a lot of questions to be asked, and realistically, guys, I'm going to give you my hot take right now. I don't think Caleb Jones plays more than 1 game before being sent down to the Bakersfield Condors. I think it's pretty apparent that Adam Larson's not going to be available until, I'd say, I should double check this. I didn't check Twitter. I just tried to get into the breaking news first thing. Hold on. Let me double check this. He won't be available is kind of my question. Jones can play the right side, either Clefbaum in the second pairing or in the third. Yeah, that's what they're saying. And so, yeah, that's what it's looking like, is the fact that there's no Adam Larson news. So that's what we like to hear. Not necessarily in a good sense, but that's so as I'm not wrong, I guess you could say. So, there we go. Stat check, done. Check the news, we're good. Adam Larson probably not back until at least Saturday or the next game after Dallas. So there's a chance that Caleb Jones should be playing against Colorado, and that would be a hot matchup for me to watch. Caleb Jones, one of my favorite players because of what he did in a video game 3 years ago, and Cale Makar, a guy I once interviewed back in my rookie season of doing hockey-style interviews live on Facebook. So that's going to be fantastic. If that's the storyline I get to go into the Colorado Avalanche versus Edmonton Oilers game with, that would mean the world to me. Guys, that's where I'm going to leave it. So Caleb Jones replaces Brandon Manning, who is now on the IR. He gets the call up. 10 points in 13 games, fantastic effort so far out of Caleb Jones, and we gotta hope that this just keeps us afloat. I'm not asking for anything. Literally, I'm not asking for much here. I'm just asking it keeps us afloat until Adam Larson gets back, and the math gets further complicated by that. Guys, Tyson, Dolynny TV, as always, I will catch you in the next one.